So that's pretty much this section of the berg dealt with. We can advance and see what's further in. Avoid those guys throwing fire bombs at you. And what have we got here? We've got a couple of guys, so we'll just back up a smidge. Oh, and we'll back up into a firebomb. That's you taken care of. We could now heal at this bonfire because we're not going back that way anytime soon. But sod it. Let's go. Just you at the moment. Good. Big slow attack. And well, we took you down in one hit anyway. You kicked the door in. Try and take me by surprise, and you failed. Nice try though. Another door that doesn't open from this side. That's fine. Whoever it was up there throwing fire bombs, they seem to be on that wooden platform above us, so they can't actually see us right now, so they've chilled out a bit. Now, we've got a chest here. And let's see what's in it. No enemies sneaking up on us. Black fire bombs, lovely. And you're just there to punish the curious, really. There's nothing in that little room. So we can go on. Who's coming over? Just you. That's cool. So we don't really want a 3-on-1. Come on.
Boring.
Come on. You're a firebomber. Interesting. That was too far away. That's annoying. Cheeky bugger jumping back like that. Now we've pulled a second one into the fight. Come on, boys. There we go. Lovely. Bit of caution. Saves us time in the long run. It's safer to do that nice and slow than it is to... Well, it's quicker to do it nice and slow than it is to fail and have to run back through all these respawned enemies. Another battle axe. Nice. Now, what are you boys up to? Just strolling over to throw a firebomb. Right, let's close the distance then. I'm liking that big attack being a one-shot. That's pretty cool. It's a little slower, but still pretty cool. Now, if we had purchased the residence key from that merchant we found in the previous area, we could unlock this door. But we can unlock it anyway with the master key, because we took it as our starting gift. Crossbowmen, you say? We'll take you out before you become a problem. And now we can go through that new door that we've unlocked, or we could... Let's see, can we bait one of you guys? Looks like we can. Bollocks. That's what happens when you try parrying when you've got no reason to. But I need to get my parry game on. So I'm going to keep practicing parrying if it kills me. Which it will, multiple times. But not before it kills him. Flowers. Now, what do we find in this new room? Just leads out to a chest. What's in the chest? Gold pine resin. We can apply that to our weapon to deal increased damage with it. Could come in handy if we had a big tough enemy around here somewhere. I see you, spearman. I'll come around the normal way to fight you, I think. And then we might have to look for a big tough enemy to fight. There you are. What are you hiding in the corner for, you awful bugger? I hate spearmen in this game. For some reason I just can't deal with them. That's you taken out. And what do we have down here? The Black Knight.
Oh dear.
Can we sneak up and backstab the Black Knight? He's vulnerable to parries, hence my practicing. And he's vulnerable to backstabs as well. 79 damage. Have some of that. Oops. So yeah, you shouldn't be fighting this guy at this stage unless you know what's going on. And just about managed to get that block off. Another backstab, nice. You can kind of chain backstab these guys by sneaking around behind them as they get up. Yeah, there's very little point in trying to take these guys on in a fair fight with this weapon. Can you come up here? That would be nice. A bit more space for us to engage in combat. And are we actually going to kill the Black Knight on the first try? That would be super cool. He says as he biffs it at the last second. Fuck's sake, I got greedy. I thought, yeah, he's only got a smidge left. If we can take him out before anything problematic happens. And it just took one strike more than I was expecting. If I'd stayed calm and kept parrying, that could have worked out a lot better. Oh, and we didn't even sit at the previous bonfire we found, so we're nowhere near it. So what happens now is we have to make our way back to our corpse. A lot of people, when they start playing the game, assume this means they're going to have to fight their way through all of these enemies again. And that was very silly indeed. I locked onto the wrong enemy and threw myself off the cliff. But at least now they're all going to follow suit, so that's kind of worked out for us. Yeah, so as you can see, it's really not that difficult to just avoid enemies and run past them. So people start playing the game, they don't realise this, and their boss runs are 20 minutes long. And they're like, how am I supposed to ever get good at this boss fight when it takes like 20 minutes to get back to it and I've forgotten everything that I did? The answer is just run. Just keep running. No one can stop you. I mean, they might be able to up here, because I might not be able to rest because of all the enemies, actually. At some point, I'm going to have to stop and kill a couple. But most of them will probably return to their spawn points. And we actually managed to get the rest off, that's good. I was expecting to have to kill a couple, because if they get too close to the bonfire, that's what happens, but as it is, we're doing okay. So we're halfway back to our corpse. What you got for me? An awful helmet, lovely. Do you even turn around if I just go this way? Doesn't look like it. Now that door's already open now, so this guy's decided to just waltz through. So we'll just pull him all the way back. Are you going to lunge attack me? No, you're just going to slow attack me. And that's you out the way. And you left yourself open. Can't be whiffing those attacks, my friend. And you're one of the easy ones. And now you're down. Oh yeah, bloodstains. You can touch them and you can see how another player in the world met their end. Tried to drink, ran out of time, down he goes. So yeah, the drinking animation, all the animations, they do take a little while, so you have to plan ahead with your combat a little bit. Who shot me? Oh my god, that guy is actually impactful over here. I didn't realise. Jeez. The level design just keeps catching you out. You're like, yeah, that guy's not an issue, but then, whoops. There's no point even pillaging all these mooks. But that seems to be what we're doing. So, oh, you three are still up there. So who the hell was it who just attacked me a minute ago? Maybe I'll just go back and take care of Crossbowman. Is that going to trigger? Yeah, that guy heard the noise. So now he's probably going to wander up as well. It's going to be a chain effect. Here he comes. But those guys up ahead don't appear to attract back, so we should be alright. Nice of you to do your lunging attack straight into my shield. And shall we be a bit riskier on these guys? Fortune does sometimes favour the brave. Well, we've got one down. We've got two down. Yeah, so controlled aggression got us through there. Now, you need to die. I don't think I need to worry too much about the fire bombers because of where they are. We will take both of these guys out though, because we want to clear up this area for any Black Knight combat. Nice, so there is a double swing on that two-handed attack. Hello, where did you come from? Are you one of the firebomb guys? Barry was not expecting you. But it's fine, we got this. Come on. We have the high ground, Anakin. Until the point where we slip round to the low ground and shove our axe up your butt. Now, is that everyone that we need to be concerned about in order for us to fight the Black Knight one-on-one? There's our souls. 1,400 odd souls. Lovely. Right then, Black Knight. I'd like to backstab you again if I may. So we'll sneak up all sneaky quiet like. Someone else has died around here. Kill Surprise. And we didn't get the backstab because we're an idiot. But that's our first parry. Could at this point run past and get the item, but instead we'll try some backstab chaining. So we got that one off, that's nice. Here you go, you see. You just get into a rhythm with it. We'll probably have to come around the other side. And that's some good damage right there. Right, don't panic. Another one. We'll probably go for a quick drinky poo whilst he's down. And surely we've got him. But hey, we thought that last time. We got him. The Black Knight sword. And a Titanite chunk. Oh my goodness. It's a shame that we're an Axeman, because if we were not. The Black Knight sword. 20 strength, 18 dex required. But 220 damage. That's madness. It's a very powerful weapon. You can easily use it throughout the whole game. I don't think we can get the Black Knight's axe until near the end of the game, but that might be something to look out for. So yeah, there we go. We've got the blue Tearstone ring as well. Let's take a quick look at that. We've only got 2 fingers apparently, so we can only wear 2 rings at a time. But when our HP is low, that one will give us a defensive boost. And if you try and run away from the Black Knight, you'll quickly find yourself falling off that cliff and dying. So we've got enough souls for a couple of levels up, or we can push on to the area boss. Let's push on for a moment. What's going on up here? Hello, friend. Are you not going to do anything? Not going to give your old barrel a push? Yeah, we don't want any part of that flaming barrel nonsense. And that's what you get for your troubles. There's nothing on that little ledge down there, I don't think. So, we've got a tower with another door. The master key will open that bit, which leads us to somewhere where we absolutely shouldn't be at this point in time. However, we'll probably end up going there anyway. Up here we've got a bunch of these barrels. Nothing exciting going on from the look of things. But if we go up again, a bunch more barrels. What's this message have to say? Try rolling. That's a crystal lizard right there. What is a crystal lizard? Well, what it is a little shitbag that runs away from you. And if you manage to kill it, you get Titanite, which is the upgrade material for most of the weapons in the game. So those little lizards are hidden about the place, and you generally want to snag them if you can. If you can't, you can log out, you can shut the game down, back in again, and they'll respawn, so you can keep going for them. So, another fog door. Could well be a boss behind it. Do we take our Estus flask now, or do we sneak through the door? There's a little ladder here. We'll pop up this. This is one of those things that you don't know about the first time you come into this boss fight. So you're just like, what? Who was hitting me with arrows? What was going on? And the answer is, these douchebags were hitting you with arrows. So climb up and take them out before you do anything too dangerous in here. Now, we're not worried about perfect play in this playthrough. It doesn't really... I'm not looking to show off my incredible Dark Souls skills. So we're going to use everything at our disposal to beat the bosses, even if people see it as cheesy. Because the game will screw with you whenever it can. So screw with the game whenever it lets you. It's all fair. That's why I've brought out my black firebomb, so we can try and trivialise this boss a little bit. Hi, friend. The Taurus demon has arrived. And let's see. Maybe we won't even need to cheese the boss with our firebombs. I mean, he is the first boss, for goodness sake. The first proper boss. We should be able to take him down. Just hiding in his nutsack seems to be doing the job at the moment, because he can't really hit us. And he's got a lot of damage on that axe if it does hit, naturally. But our shield does seem to be able to stand up to it pretty well. As long as you've got the stamina. If you've got low stamina and you take a big hit, then it will break through your shield. If you don't block in time as well, then naturally you'll get poked. So that one was fine. You can see my stamina meter dropping when I block these hits. And we rolled at the wrong time. So now there's like 4,000 souls just sat in that boss room. Shit. At least we're back at this bonfire. So yeah, we'll try the firebomb trick next time. So out we go. And again we'll be able to run through much of the enemies between us and the boss. It's a case of knowing when you can and when you can't at times. So we know this guy's on our tail. So we'll mistime our attack on him so he can hit us. Then we'll take him out. Now, can we just sprint past all of this nonsense? Possibly. Or possibly we'll just get snagged up on everything. Right, through. These guys are all on the right there, so you can kind of get past them without too much issue sometimes. I am bad, therefore we ran into issue. But now we run through here. We can drop down here, excuse me, coming through. Can we jump this barrel, or is the barrel already gone? The barrel's already gone. Wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it. And just like that, we're back at the boss door. We've only got 5 Estus flasks this time, because that was a normal bonfire rather than the Firelink bonfire, so it doesn't give us 10 Estus. So we've got fewer healing items than we should have. You right there, buddy? Nope, he's given up. He can't get through the fog door. Poor little man. Oops, that was a good strike, my friend. But you go down. Maybe I'll also put the other fire bombs on as well. And now let's see what we can do against our boss friend. There is another way to cheese him, which is to pull him back over here, climb up the ladder, and then do plunging attacks onto his head. So yeah, there's multiple ways to take on this boss, which is cool. Is that close enough? No. Hup. It's not really axing him, but it works. Can I bomb you a question? And soon we're going to have to change direction. And we almost threw ourselves off the bloody platform. But I think with the power of cheese and the power of fire bombs, boss defeated. We've retrieved our souls. Victory is achieved. Oh yeah. Where's my celebrations? Joy! There we go. Let's just get rid of those. And woohoo! Alrighty, Roo. Boss down. Now there's something smashy in here. Let's see what it is. Got a good chunk of souls from that boss as well, so getting to a bonfire would be very nice for a level up at this stage. Got a bit of plank stuck in us. That's kind of an artifact of the Havoc physics that the game uses. Ragdolls abound as well. So we've got a bridge. We've got not much over here really. Just some dude. Bridge appears to have some scorch marks on it. That's your clue for this particular gotcha. Not to go too far ahead or to be too incautious. And when you hear the swoop of wings, I mean I wasn't in time, but when you hear the swoop of wings, get the hell out of there. Right, now we run for our lives. We run. And we go down here. So we're under the bridge. If we pop across to here and take a look at this little ladder that we find. Kick ladder. This places the ladder down and allows us to climb. Where are we? Why, we're back at the bonfire. Beautiful. Levelling up should be done. I would like to get my dex up a bit because I'm going to need it at some point. So that's an investment for the future. At least 12 is required for bows and whatnot. Maybe 14. 14 I think would take me to as far as I need, and then we can just stop worrying about dex ever again. So let's just get Dex out of the way. It doesn't make us much stronger in the short term, but I wanted to get it done. Now there's a couple of options here at the bonfires. You can reverse hollowing. That's where you use an item called Humanity to turn yourself back into a human. It turns on the PvP features of the game. Let's actually show it off, why not? So we can offer a Humanity and reverse hollowing. And now we're a beautiful human once again. Look at that ordinary human face. And now if we have some more Humanity available, we can kindle this bonfire, which increases the number of charges of our Estus flasks. So, first of all, you find your Humanity and use it. The number in the top left goes from 0 to 1, which shows that you've got Humanity on you. And then you kindle the bonfire, and it grows larger. A little bit larger, a little bit brighter, and now we've got 10 Estus flasks. So any bonfires that you might be using on a regular basis, it's a good idea to kindle. But it has now left us vulnerable to PvP because we're in human form until we die again. Oh well. We should probably go and take care of that Drake. Because we could we could proceed along the underside of this bridge, go through that tunnel and engage in a bunch of gubbins. But I'd rather pop back up here and see if we can't get the Drake to do his flame thing and take out all these guys on the bridge. Are you just going to be awkward? Am I not going to be able to target you? There we go. God, shield spear guys, especially spear guys on a bridge, on a staircase. Absolute nightmare. Kick. No. Just... oh god, now there's another one. Now there are two of them.
This is getting out of hand.
Right. If I can get them to swing roughly at the same sort of time, then I get to actually have a window of opportunity. Still can't kick properly. There we go. They're fine when you kick. They're a pain in the butt when you don't kick. So back up we go to tackle this Drake once more. There we go. Loads of free souls for all the enemies that he's killed. You can actually just farm souls like that. You can just keep sitting down at the bonfire and then getting more of them to spawn and then just get the free souls. But we're doing a little trick here where we just sit here for a moment and eventually the Drake will get bored with our presence here and he'll drop down onto the bridge. Now if we were crazy we could try and fight him at this point. Instead we're just going to make a sprint for this new bonfire. Lovely. We've now got the Undead Parish bonfire. And that allows us to pull a lever and opens a gate to the next area. So let's go see what these corpses had about their person. Are you still up there, Drake, or have you flown off for now? You've flown off, good. That's a claymore, that's another good strong sword weapon that we don't need because we're an axeman. Maybe at this point I will drop some of my weapons in my bottomless box. So basically everything that's not my main battle axe can go in, and my crossbow. And my shield. So we've got 9 Estus now, because that bonfire there only has 5 on it, but we retained some extra ones from our previous bonfire of 10. Yes, parry. should we go and find another really tough enemy? So if we'd gone under the bridge, we'd have killed those rats and we'd have climbed up this ladder. And then we could have come out here, but that gate would be blocked off. But up here, shields up, because I know what we're about to find. I don't know the best way to beat this one though. Let's see. That weapon looks too big to parry. This is a clumsy ass fight if ever I've seen one. Did he just hit me even though I was blocking? I think he did. Let's see if we can't get him down to ground level. Might be able to have a sensible fight with him out here. Oh, there's a summoning sign. I could use that to summon another player into my world and we could engage in cooperation. Whether or not it'd be jolly is up to our respective skill levels. But either way, it could be good fun. Are you going to let me backstab you at any point? I really don't like those swinging, swirling attacks you do because I can't tell what the heck direction you're facing at any given moment. Drop my shield for a second to restore some stamina. And we mistimed that big time. And now we're trapped. And he got us. That is a big long sword you've got, my friend. I need to back away. And suddenly we're back up at the top of the tower. What is going on with this fight? Okay, backstabs. Have we got the space to chain backstab him? No, not really. He does like that shield smash, which is taking off a lot of my stamina every time it connects. But when he misses with it, it's a perfect opportunity to just circle around and stick him in the back. And we almost got a chain backstab off there. That's a big swipe you got there, my friend. But that's another Black Knight down. Just a Titanite chunk from that one. But he won't be bothering us anymore. I mean, he doesn't bother you anyway unless you go up that tower specifically looking to fight him. But hey ho. Now, what are we doing about this bit? Are we going to try and sprint through the whole thing? Because you see this and you think, right, caution is the way forward here. But if you're cautious, you get messed up by it. So let's run. Let's just charge through. You see that guy on the left there? He's legged it through the door, or he's trying to leg it through the door, and we are getting absolutely screwed up here. Come on, come on. Right, we're through the door. Oh my god, did he drop the door on the pig? I think he dropped the door on the pig. Oh my god, he actually dropped the door on the pig and killed the pig. We've picked up a basement key, that'll probably come in handy. And we can now pull this lever and open this gate. So normally, your first time through, you'll come through here. You'll come through here and that guy will lock off the gate and you'll have to go through the other area to work your way around to the point where you can then unlock the gate from the side yourself. Trying to explain and fight two guys at once is a bit difficult. Just in general in this game, it takes a fair amount of concentration to get guys down. But then, once one's down, the other one should be pretty straightforward. Lovely. Is this a halberd? It is. Guess it's kind of an axe. We could technically consider it an axe for our Axeman playthrough. Now, where do we actually want to go? bells are a bit louder up here because we're almost at the undead church. So we don't need any items from there, I don't think. If we'd had to work our way through the other route, we could have popped out up here. But as it is, we can make a frontal assault on the church because we've come in from this direction. This Boulder Knight doesn't want us to do so, so let's have words with him. He's definitely a tougher enemy than the ones we've encountered so far. But one-on-one, still perfectly manageable. It's just the one-on-one that's the tricky part, because sometimes they sneak attack you from angles. Don't they? He's thinking about it. He knows I've seen him. Did this guy see him? Yeah, that guy didn't just run in and get whomped at least. What about you? Am I going to be able to see? You... Yeah, they've got the right idea. They're trying to lure him back to the door, but you can see that guy died because he just stopped for a drink. Are you going to... Atheism is invaded. Shit, it's an invader. There he is. Where's he going? Does he know where I am? Does he not know where I am? Oh, this is a pain. Come on, big boy, I need you out of the way before atheism shows up. Ah, you fuck. Sorry, atheism. You weren't required here today. That's 3,800 souls that are going to be fun to try and get back. At least the pig's out of the way. The pig is one of the few enemies in the game that just doesn't respawn, because it's a big tough boy. Kind of like the Black Knights. And at least now we're back to being our beautiful undead self, so we're not going to have to worry about any more invasions anytime soon. Oh yeah, the guy that locks the door is also an enemy that doesn't respawn. So yeah, we've got nothing to worry about now with the old gate. Yeah, I can definitely parry those sword guys pretty well. I don't even know if you can parry a spear though. But I can kick them when I can get the command to pull off, because it's like forward and regular attack. And for some strange reason, half the time I just press it wrong. So if we had had the gate locked, we would have come up through this side entrance. And we'd have had to deal with this bunch of charmers. And those crossbows were perfectly timed to mess up my momentum. Well played, lads. Can I backstab you? Not quite. But I can just bosh you anyway. Pain in the butt. Yeah, back off. Is your pal dead? And some alluring skulls, which you can throw on the ground to attract enemies' attention. So for example, you could throw them onto that bonfire to get the big pig guy to go over there and get himself killed. But that's not necessary on this occasion, because we managed to actually shut the gate on him. Then once you've got the pig out of the way, you'd then come down here and you'd loop through a bunch of other places that we don't need to right now. Blammo. At least we've got our souls back. That's an important thing. Wouldn't mind a heavier suit of armour though. So you're not the guy that's going to parry me. That's the rapier and buckler guy, isn't it? Yeah, you, not a problem. I can deal with you all day. You, on the other hand, bit more of a pain. I mean, it's not that much of a pain. You just got to watch out from raising his sword and then just don't strike him when he's doing that. But there can be moments where you just time your swings a bit wrong and he raises at the last minute. Let's see, or is it when he raises his shield like that that you've got problems? I forget. The Dance of Death. Yeah, this is all very silly. There we go, that's when he's going to parry you, when he raises up his sword like that. So that's when we don't attack. And then eventually he'll stop doing that. And as he stops, we'll try and get a strike off. Spiffing. This church is full of big bads that we don't want to mess with, so we need to be cautious about these things. Longsword guy though, less of a problem again. Be nice if he drops his shield actually, I think it's probably a quite good one. No dice. So this looks like a perfectly innocent room with a big boy at the end. However, don't want to be fighting big boy whilst you've got that guy throwing spells at you as well. So what we might do is pop around the side of the church and go in through the way that you would normally get to if the door had been closed upon you. Hello. Another knight friend. Bit awkward to backstab you at the moment. Let's break those barrels out of the way just 'cause. Maybe I should be parrying you. Wow, that was quicker than I expected. So that didn't work. Ah, that one seems ripe for parrying. Yes. Good. I've got to learn what can be parried and what can't, because that is useful information to have. Nobody over there. Are you going to try and jump me? Thought you would. And yes, just about got the second hit in before he recovered. So we've got 2 Estus Flask left, and we've got a big boy. And we've got 3 of these buggers, one of whom has a crossbow. You going to attack one-on-one? You will if I'm careful about it. Apart from Crossbow Boy, of course, who's just a pain. And that is how you just completely spoon that up. God, the first attack hit and I just kept swinging even though I knew my attacks were going to get interrupted. I should have just kept focusing on the parries, try and parry the follow-up hits. And now we've lost many souls. That was way too early on that parry again. You, I've got no patience for, so you can just go down. And, yep. Not even going to risk parries there, because I just don't need to, really. You can probably get... Well, you can't get backstabbed, but at least I can get a few hits in from behind and that takes you out. Shuffle over here and the crossbow men will lose interest, perhaps. If we sneak up on the right side here, none of the Boulder Knights should see us, so we're straight back over here. So that's a few less enemies to fight. So yeah, you can make death runs more efficient as you learn the game. Now, are you going to let me parry you? Yes. Big slow. Big slow allows us to parry quite nicely. Now, if I just walk to the left, you don't appear to care. But I shouldn't be dying to these mook enemies down here, really. Let's just rush them. Because when I do hit them, I've got some decent knockback on my axe, so I can interrupt their attacks. Dang. And we're pretty close to another bonfire as well, so let's just pop down and scoop that up because we can. So we'll head away from the church. What's that sound? Dink, dink. It's like someone working on an anvil. And here's our bonfire. So, over in the distance there we see Sen's fortress. Just need to remember it's there right now, don't need to worry too much about it. Bit more endurance because I just want more stamina, I think, so I can block bigger attacks and get more swings in when I'm attacking. Hello. There's another room down here as well. There's roots everywhere. Yeah, we're not gonna go that way. Hello there, Andrea Vestora. He's a blacksmith. So, what do we need? We need to learn Hurrah! Because that seems like a good thing to do. We can repair our equipment. It takes minor damage over time. You have to spend souls to restore it. It's generally not a problem unless you forget to do it forever and one of your weapons breaks mid-boss fight. Now, we could purchase some items. He's got Titanite shards, which are the basic upgrade material. He's got, for 20,000 souls, a crest that opens a shortcut. Tools for reinforcing weapons ourselves at bonfires, and for repairing our own stuff at bonfires. That last one could be pretty handy. He's got a war pick. It's got thrust damage. It looks kind of like an axe. Originally a pickaxe, redesigned for battle. But it says weapon type hammer, so yeah, it's not for us. Now, let's have a think. Are we able to reinforce our weapon? No, because we need Titanite shards. We've picked up some chunks and whatnot from some of the bosses we've fought, some of the Black Knights we've fought, but we haven't actually got any of the basic shards yet. They're 800 souls apiece. This could be a good time to use our items that we've been picking up, so let's see. Soul of a Lost Undead. Let's use all 8 of those. And that gives us 1600 extra souls. And now let's purchase, say, 3 Titanite shards. Now we just need a few more souls so that we can actually pay to reinforce. So these slightly larger ones, we should be able to get away with just 2 of those probably. 400 souls apiece gives us 800. And now we can reinforce our weapon for extra damage. So now Ethel is +2. And she's going to have a little more oomph in battle. Barry is very pleased about this, and so am I. Aren't you pleased, Barry? You look pleased. Let's see.